Today is June 9th. The Yankees win their third series in a row. Dodgers come to town. Oh, we're going to lose. Nope. First inning grand slam from Giancarlo, and that's all you needed. Let's talk some Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD behind the dish. And we've got a fun one to recap here. Kind of an adrenaline rush I haven't felt in a long time, Jake. It feels like this team's not only got, some good stuff going on, but they may have good stuff going on for a while.
James, Davis, everyone tuning in with us live in the chat. Let's go. I mean, this is another series, right? It's a long season. The Yanks are winning some ball games, but the Dodgers come into town. This is a really good baseball team. They came in on a 5-game win streak. Yamamoto this offseason. Shohei, everything that's tied to it. Even we're doing flashbacks to last year because the Yankees played the Dodgers last year. Judge hurts his toe. That kind of changes the whole season. This felt like a test for the Yankees. You saw it in both these teams' intensity levels, and the Yankees come out with 2 out of 3, which, hey, we'll take that. Let's win series. We said that a couple episodes ago. We're saying, hey, let's just start racking up some series wins. And here we are winning our third straight series and against a good baseball team. Let's continue to build on it.
Yeah, but even that middle game loss wasn't as much of a sting as you would think.
Right. Because it's, Yamamoto, and we kind of want to give him that Ohtani treatment we gave him on the Angels. But, when you lose a game that way, you just end up shrugging, right?
You shrug, and then also Stan takes what he did in that game and brings it into game 3, which kind of makes it somewhat of a laugher right away, and here we are having a blast.
Right. I guess, before we get into the games, is there any groundskeeping that we need to cover? Rortvet's still up. And Trevi, I think they said Meredith said, it was actually one of those kind of Yankee weird ones, because they said that they were going to give the information on the rehab, and they never actually gave it, which makes you think.
We're close to getting, the update where, he's doing dry swings. You're
right.
Well, that sounds like he is nothing.
Right.
So he hasn't done anything yet?
Yeah.
But
he's been in the pool. They talked about that. A lot of wet swings.
A lot of wet swings
so far.
That's silly,
Trevi's soaked.
The other thing is Martian live at-bats. So we're getting closer and closer.
But you're not thinking about that. You've said all season you're not thinking about that.
He's not in my brain until he's in my brain.
Right. But yeah, hopefully live at-bats turn into game at-bats, and then we can start daydreaming. There's a lot good. I don't know where he fits right now. Well, it's just hilarious what Boone and Cash are doing because they're playing the game right with us. They're smart enough to not put any dates out there. It seems like they're eyeing the All-Star break. That seems like the obvious fit, but
slow.
Hey, maybe it's ahead of that. He's a
probably
kid.
Slow goes until we get an injury, and then they probably fast track him.
And I'm trying to think what else. DJ came back last series, so we don't have to do anything with that.
And it's kind of an afterthought at this point. It was a short stint. They said he'd be back the day he could get back. He's back the day he could get back, and he looks like pretty normal.
The
Rare
whole
drama-free Yanks.
The whole thing kind of felt like let's sneak Peraza a couple at bats.
Just see what that does.
But so DJ's back. And in the bullpen, Hamilton came back for this series. So I don't know. Again,
was this series.
The Ian Hamilton. I know. He only threw at the end of that first game. But yeah, I don't know. We've scary always, just his mound presence.
intimidating.
I
I mean,
we'll see.
Yamamoto was watching from the dugout. Like, I can never be him.
Yeah, wasn't there that one weird quote where like Yamamoto said I was gonna join the Yankees, but Ian Hamilton.
I think the direct quote was, I played them. And we were like,
I don't know if that's a direct quote.
well, it was after the game. And they were like,
Right,
can you
right.
talk about your relationship with the Yankees and the offseason process and
That's
how
right.
it felt to be on the mound tonight? He said, I played them.
We put out that
You're like,
graphic.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you mean
Some English second language
I
stuff
played
there
them.
that
you just played them in the game or
played.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the burns. Let's do game one.
Let's do it. The burns are brought to you by Jackpot. Hello. What would you do if you won $285 million, Jim?
Not tell anyone.
Right.
Take the lump sum.
You always hit that instantly, which is smart.
That's the number one advice they give out to
Right.
people. Don't tell anyone.
What's the first thing you would buy after not telling anyone?
Another lottery ticket. Double
Well,
down.
That's just smart.
Yeah.
It's an investment. Mega Millions, 285 while we're recording this. Today's sponsor is jackpot.com. And the best part is you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go to the convenience store, the bodega, the gas station. You can play Mega Millions, Powerball, New York Lotto, and more. Jackpot.com is now live in New York, Texas, Ohio, and Massachusetts. Plus, we have the hookup for a free ticket. All you have to do is use code YANKS. Make sure when you deposit, code YANKS, and that'll get you a free Jackpot.com lottery ticket. So there's a link in the description. Jackpot.com. Make sure you use code YANKS at checkout. Beebs, we didn't really check in with you. How's your tooth doing?
pretty good. I've been waiting to get that done for a while.
It's been since opening day. I remember opening day.
Finally. Well, because I got it fixed like 2 years ago, and then it finally flared up again, and I was like, all right, I can't delay the finishing of that any longer.
You can only have someone else's tooth in your mouth for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, game one.
Thank you for asking.
What all the dentists say. Here come the Dodgers as they rode on a 5-game win streak facing Carlos and the Pinstripers, old AL East friend, and my wedding date, Tyler Glasnow, returns to play 3 in the Boogie Down Bronx. And in the first, hey, big fella, here's another big fella. Here comes the judge, little Homer. He goes to the cheap seats in left. It is 1-0 Yankees. Fast forward. Oh, Alex Verdugo, he found the porch. That's in the 5th inning. He hits his 10th homer on the year. He's starting to like that porch, isn't he, guys? And then third time flew for Tyler Glasnow because he's sick after the big fella does it again. Aaron Judge, 2-homer game at the office, 4 RBI on the day. And we haven't talked about Carlos because we didn't need to talk about Carlos too much. He gave up that 1 homer to Max Muncy. After that, he was clean. 6 innings pitched, 104 pitches, 6 strikeouts. He kicks it off to the pen. F. Ross the boss, Tommy Tight Pants, and then with that Geico insurance run, here comes Ian Hamilton, like we talked about on the back end. Yankees get it done, 8-2 final.
Lot of good stuff.
Lot of
Judge going deep twice
yeah.
against Glasnow was pretty fun. And it kind of showcases how much of a freak Judge is. I mean, first inning, gets the fastball from Glasnow, turns on it to left field. Even though he liked kind of letting those fastballs get deep usually and going, I think that was like, I know what you're throwing. And then 2 at-bats later, flicks a curveball to right.
Right.
So kind of Glasnow sitting there like, okay, that's a fat, okay, that's, okay, I give up. That's what Judge does.
Judge finally gets him, too. He's a guy coming into the day, they face each other a lot. Judge was only 2 for 18, never hit an extra base hit against him. So, of course, now that he leaves, Judge has his number. But
Yeah, I mean, we remember the Stanton glass now, going back to those playoffs a couple years ago, and he was all over him. But, man, this is what we've talked about for this Yankee lineup to be good. It's everyone contributing, locked in every at-bat. And you felt them take on the Tyler Glasnow challenge. I don't know if that's just, old AL East, or I don't know if it was kicking off this series. But, Rizzo has 3 hits in this one, and it's one of those games you almost didn't. But, he has the bunt just to kind of get under Glasnow's skin in the Dodgers.
That's to poke at Freddie, because Freddie does that a lot, and he just puts it down the left field line. So you saw them laughing at first base. Rizzo drops it down because they're shifting a little bit, gets the first easily. Freddie says, dude, that's kind of what I do.
And then I totally forgot about that inside-out one in the 8th, just because the game was over at that point. But, yeah, you look down at this box score. This is the stuff we dreamed about in January. Soto's got a couple on the board. Judgy, Rizzo, and
the offense clicking is the highlight, especially against Glasnow, who's looking great this season so far.
Right.
That you're right, Cardone. Carlos Rodon we don't talk about, but dude, he it wasn't dominant stuff. The strikeouts snuck up at me like crazy, but by the end you're like, oh.
Right.
And he's doing that because the Yankees kind of scored throughout. You're like, oh yeah, and they haven't. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you never want to say it's a good matchup for him. It's not, the Dodgers are never a good matchup for anyone. But their injuries to Chris Taylor and Manny Margot, they had some of their lefties out there they would normally platoon. So he gets looks at, James Outman and Hayward. That makes the Dodgers lineup a little easier to navigate on the back end.
Also helped Canely out a lot coming in the pen.
And I know you're liking Rodon I think he threw 8 changeups this game. So we're trying to build on it. When that's in the mix, it feels like that's a place they want to get to. And yeah, hey, that final line, again, if we could get that from Carlos Rodon, we could start dreaming some bigger stuff. And we don't even really have to talk about the Glaber error because, there's just no need.
No, instead, we can paint Wellesley in a nice light. Like him and Rodon, they kind of connected last year. His offensive numbers here, 1 walk, but other than that, nothing. But called a great game. Yeah. Got Rodon through it. You can see that they're talking nonstop. They kind of look like the same guy.
Family.
Yeah.
Family. Yeah, it's one of those. We did have that moment there next to you forget just how big Rodon is because all pitchers are big. And Wellesley's not naturally huge, but you're like, whoa, oh my God. It's a little
also
big brother
the weather getting warmer, the buttons getting undone on Rodon is a little
the 2 mustache.
That's a
lot
little
of sweat.
a little baseball.
A lot of sweat.
I felt like the first time we saw this real sweaty night out of him.
The bullpen moves. You have a big lead, but they get Hamilton in there at the end. F. Ross comes in. Like you said, they had those lefties, so Canely was natural there. But any thoughts on the decisions there?
Yeah, Stanton, that RBI in the 7th, that allows them to breathe just a little easier. You're stretching out the lead. That they go to Hamilton. Did I have a nervous moment that we're starting out this series putting Ian Hamilton back in the mix? Yeah, I'll be honest. Because if that falls on its face, we're having totally different conversation. But we're not. Hamilton comes in. He looks fine. And that nice play by DJ makes it so we don't have to talk about anything with him. Which if we're not talking about you in the bullpen, that's normally a good sign. Unfortunately. I don't know. And this was how we...
Clinical.
It's almost like you would script the series to start off this way. Volpe tough at bats, but Glasnow, that's... when Glasnow executes his pitches, what do you do?
But
you got to get him.
What do you do?
But give Volpe credit for getting on base in front of Judge's last homer and beating out that infield single. Using the speed, the awareness.
That's what you got.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. All right, let's go to game 2 where things get a little, less fun. I'm still in a good mood about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big Saturday in the Bronx as we welcome back former Yankee great Yoshinobu Yamamoto while Clark would try to tell him, "This is my Schmitty now," as he tries to build his all-star resume. And here we go. Giancarlo, let the rhythm take you over, Giancarlo. Te quiero, solar homers. And then H to the Rizzo. He hits a homer in the third. Yankees, it's 2-0. Yeah. Why don't you go to the Schmidt house, says Shohei Ohtani. He has a 2-homer game, both against Clark. 2-run homer, 3-run homer. It's 5-2 Dodgers, and it would stay that way. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's pretty good, huh? Would have been nice to have that guy in pinstripes. 6 innings, the 2 earned runs. The Dodgers kick it to their pen. Yankees lose 5-2 on a Saturday afternoon in the Bronx.
We'll start with the big topic here is Clark versus Ohtani in that second at bat, and he's having a great season. Ohtani's the best ever. He just homered off you. Ohtani likes hitting in New York. Yeah. You got a lefty. You got the porch. What are you more disappointed with, the pitch calling by Clark and Wellesley, Rortvedt, the Invisible Man, or
no? This was a Wells game.
Oh,
this was a Wells game because it was cold today. Yeah. Yeah.
Or not pulling Clark when you have a rested bullpen. Rested top of the guys.
This is where I'm going to contradict myself.
Okay.
You know, I do this a lot, but I said, we wanted this series to be big. It had big feels to it, and we now have the luxury of knowing that they won today's game. We love a happy record day, and there's been so many happy record days this season. It's just one of those years, you hope. Yeah, if this is a playoff game, you've got Victor Gonzalez, and, let's get him up, and let's not do Shohei. But with what Clark's done this year, it was kind of a face your fears at bat, and Clark has earned the right to pitch in that spot. And he's 80 pitches at that point, something like that. So, if this is a playoff game, there's no chance, even with what Clark's done, you give him that look, but you give him the look, and it's Shohei, dude. Like the pitch, I rewatched the pitch, and it's like a borderline strike. But Shohei, that's never mattered.
Well, I think I flash back to when King faced Ohtani a couple years ago, and he
miss him,
and he
miss him.
He talked about trying to throw his third pitch because Ohtani wouldn't expect it.
Right.
Because Ohtani sees the scouting report and is probably expecting sinker or slider. So he went with the changeup.
Right.
And then Matt Blake goes, well, that's your third best pitch for a reason. If you face the best pitcher in the world, wouldn't you want to throw your best pitch, even if he knows it's coming or not? And King was like, that was a big learning lesson for me.
Yeah.
So I kind of see leaving Clark out there. He's earned it, like you said. And this can be kind of one of those moments where, hey, he already homered on you. Don't get cute and now go to a lesser pitch because he took you deep on your best pitch. Just execute the best pitch better. So I disagree with the pitch calling. I'm fine with the decision to leave Clark out there. It was a close game. You do have the bullpen available. I thought the offense would come around. It just never happened.
Yeah, there was that one Soto at bat.
Seems like every game there's a one Soto at bat that it's like, this is awesome. This guy's on the team.
Right. And that 1-1 pitch, if that gets called a ball, which it was, it's 2-1. Juan Soto's in the driver's seat. You got action on the bases. That was kind of the pivot point of the game. And the Yankees didn't have a ton of rallies in this game. But that's the moment that you're looking back at, and I don't know. You can't defend Juan Soto for taking the 2-2 pitch that's in the same spot. But that's the hitter's conundrum, right?
I have more on that. I have a little war.
You have more on that later.
Yeah.
So yeah, when that didn't happen for the Yankees, it's kind of like, okay, the team at the end of the day, they only had 4 hits. So
and the hits, they're two homers
right.
on Yamamoto, but I do kind of want to make a montage of pitchers getting short porch for the first time.
Yeah.
Because that Stanton homer is basically first seat of the first row.
Yeah.
And right. And
I mean, Lance Lynn had to learn that. Just don't throw it up to that.
Yeah.
As
side.
far as I know, that's not what the Oryx Buffalo Stadium looks like, you know?
And just the funny reaction of just like, oh,
Yeah.
that one, I thought that was like knee high. But that's what Stanton can do. And also the matchup there, like Stanton he can't get out. He has to win the battle, 5'11", 160-pound pitcher versus Giancarlo Stanton. So it just felt like, his swing's a little off. Hopefully this helps. It worked. And then Rizzo with the pole shot again, just like Yamamoto's like, okay, so I can't let them hit it over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, and this is always one of those, I feel like we do this every year, that like Doug Eddings is behind the plate, massive strike zone. And it's one of those things you wish you knew before the game, because with Yamamoto's pitch mix and a day game, it's going to be a tougher day at the office to hit. And yeah, I don't know. I know we're here cheery because they went on record day, but after this game, I definitely had a little bit of like, I wish Yamamoto was a Yankee, and are we going to lose this series? And, Noodle gives me that kind of crazy look in his eye. Are you going to... Is he sleeping next to me because he likes me, or is he lining up to eat me like an anaconda?
I have a legit question for you.
Okay,
this might sound like a joke. It's a legit question. Do you think Tanaka lost fans today, and like Hideki? Because for a while, a lot of fans in Japan were Yankees fans,
right?
Because we had a lot of great Japanese players in the Yankees. Okay, now you have Yamamoto and Ohtani single-handedly beating the Yankees, in one game. Like, does this hurt Tanaka's fandom? Is he no longer a god? Because the Yankees are out?
Two different questions. Tanaka's still God.
Yeah.
Had God.
Yep.
Once you're a god, that's...
Yeah.
Has any god ever become human? Is that a Bible story I missed?
I
think when you're a god, you're kind of clear, right?
Bruce Almighty? What's that about?
That's a human who becomes God. Does he end up human again?
Is that what Jesus' deal is? I don't know.
No, Jesus isn't a
Just
god.
Like a son of God. Yeah.
Has anyone given up their god abilities to be a human? That feels like a movie.
Is that what Bruce Almighty's about?
But at first he's a human.
You get the 2 homers off Yamamoto, and you feel like that's a game you should win when you get that. And so immediately after, it didn't feel good. Obviously, we're laughing now.
I think, if we're being real right now, the Dodgers, and there was a Jeff Passan article when it happened, part of the Dodgers' plan is to become what the Yankees were in Japan. Like you're saying with, Matsui and Tanaka, they want generations of Japanese players who idolize Shohei and idolize Yamamoto to look at the Dodger blue. And for a couple of the free agents that come over, they want to wear that Dodger blue. There's something. Tanaka's still gone.
Dumb question. All right.
The first part of the question I thought was great.
Game 3?
Game 3.
Oh, it's weird seeing Japanese flags at the stadium, and it's not for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it's weird they don't have Dodgers. That's the whole thing. Dodgers trying to make money. Whatever. Let's go to Game 3.
How about a little breakfast for dinner? Garrett would hope to cook up a win in some flapjacks while the Dodgers would bring the syrup with Big Maple James Paxton making his return to the stadium. Bottom 1, Giancarlo says, let's go to Denny's. I'm getting the grand slam. Over the bullpen, into the seats. It's 4-0 Yankees. Just like that. Dodgers would sneak in a couple, sure, but Juan Soto, Sunday night baseball, second deck, and boy, did he like to watch that one. It's just like that. It's 5-2 Yankees. And how about Tony Two Bags? Look at the wheels as Rizzo takes the second base. Probably should have been out at second. He gets the 2-run double. The Yankees are churning and burping, excuse me. And hey, there's Anthony Volpe. Nice play in the hole. Follows it with the 2 stolen bases in the next inning. Yankees are walking away victorious in this game and the series. Cole to Johnny. to F. Ross the boss to Clay Holmes. How about it, Yankees? Take care of business in the Boogie Down Bronx as they take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. 6-3 final.
Beautiful stuff.
Thank
Beautiful stuff. A little redeeming medicine for the Yankees fans, for us, for Stanton. Short porch. Dodgers fans can't get over it. So mad. Oh, Yamamoto should have been shutouts, scrapers. Okay, want some big home runs?
Yeah.
First inning, over the bullpen, and then Soto way deep. Those count?
Yeah. Those still count.
Okay,
Those
great.
still count.
They counted a lot. I mean, yeah, part of me, Sunday Night Baseball, you want drama, excitement. You don't want a blowout. Right. So when Stan hit the grand slam, Paxton can't find the plate at all, finally finds the plate. You did a little too much damage. Stan goes deep, 4 runs instantly. I'm like, oh, God, I don't want a blowout.
Right. It's Sunday Night Baseball. I'm locked in for this.
And then it stays close, and the Dodgers get the runners on base, and you're like, oh, shit, double here would be 2 runs, and then it's a 4-2 game. Like, oh, I don't want it this close.
Yeah.
Soto hits that homer. The difference there from 4-5 for me, I just sat back. I was like, I'm excited to do the show.
We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
We're not letting this one out there. One of the perks of Cole, one of the perks of having the back end available, ready and available to go this way. There's that scary moment. Johnny Laza comes out, whizzes his first pitch to the backstop, and you go, oh, okay, Johnny. So it's Sunday Night Baseball, I guess, and these are the Dodgers. But he settles in after that, and he looks pretty good. Trying to see what else. 7-3 final. I think I said 6-3 during the burn.
I was fine. I was fine with the pitching choices. I was fine with the lineup. Like, we're kind of settled into a nice rhythm here with the lineup. It's like feels really comforting.
Yeah, I mean, how about we hadn't seen Garrett lay in a roar vet like that in a while. That was like flashbacks of 23.
Well, they're like getting, reacquainted, and Trevi's timeline seems to be non-existent. So
right.
Cole's like,
so vague.
If this is staying,
right? If
looks like I got to go back to work.
If we're gonna do this, I gotta teach Ben how to be a man. Again, Garrett, no one, don't we've been talking to Booney. He's no one's asked you to do that, but I get the leadership.
I was gonna say something I can't say.
That's leadership.
I was gonna say.
Turn into an award.
No, I was going to say why. That's like, come on, Jim.
And that's just something.
I'm glad you didn't say that.
That's just something we wouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
Here.
It's a joke.
What do you think about any of the managerial decisions? We see Peraza came in for DJ.
I think that's fine. I mean, DJ's looking fine, and get Peraza in, see what he's all about, see if he can grab a bag, make some plays, have some fun.
His defense has been good.
You're just not getting a chance.
It's never
right
the
now.
question. Clay gets into this one.
You thought Peraza, when DJ was hurt, was going to get maybe like, it just didn't seem like he got a chance to really settle in because, one, you knew DJ was coming right back. They said that. And two, just, I don't know, the deep at-bats, the way the game's been going, like, it was never like, oh, I hope Peraza comes through, which is maybe a good thing.
Yeah.
But so maybe they're just still searching to find him some places. Sunday Night Baseball, Dodgers, get out there. And
and we just, not to relive it, but I didn't like, they moved him around a little bit. They had him play third, shortstop, and second base.
That's his role.
It's his role, but, when we found a 10-game lane for him to play, just put him at third, play him, but we don't have to relive that.
No. I don't know. It's kind of it, man. I thought we were going to see more Grisham. Ended up not. I thought he would get a start. Doesn't get a start. I think that's kind of like saying something. They are fine with Judge in center field. Like, they will just roll this out there, and they didn't even sub Judge out. So
even with the lefty in game 3, team he's like otherwise just surprised.
It's the lefty with Paxton. Paxton. I think this is his third start off the IL. Yeah. So they probably figured he's not too long.
And not a full spring training because the injury happened.
He's not too long for this game, so let's keep Grisham as a bench option. Like, you don't want to essentially just burn the guy. And, they end up, they don't really need him. He comes in the ninth for Clay, but, he's not giving up any fly balls to center. So Man, I guess let's we usually kind of sign off on the Dodgers. Like what do you walk away from the Dodgers? Do you think differently of them? Do you think they're still the class of the National League?
No. Well, yeah, they are. Yes.
Yeah.
Still first place.
Yamamoto looks awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Ohtani doesn't have to think about pitching. And
right.
I don't know. That's something you got to put in your brain. Like right now, if that's the case, if he's doing what he's doing because that's at ease,
he's on pace for like 55 homers, and LA's like turning against him. Like the Dodgers are mad at him. I don't know what that's about.
Well, he doesn't play every game. Like he sits Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah,
and that makes it much easier for the Yankees.
Yeah,
and Cole.
Dude, you're like singularly.
You're just a DH now. Play every day.
Yeah.
Gavin Lux looked great. It's fun to see him get going. And I don't know if I like Mookie in the infield. It just, not that I think he's not good
right.
or he's hurting them. Just visually, it's weirding me out.
And it should. He's like a Hall of Fame right fielder. He plays fine. I mean, he's Mookie Betts.
And they've been having him there a lot the last like couple years and all of this year. It still feels weird, and it shouldn't, but it does.
I thought him and Mookie and Verdugo trading flyouts was just perfect for Sunday Night Baseball storylines.
It's baseball.
You know, they're not traded for each other. And then they just, and he hits it to the guy he was traded for. And look at that.
Coney was good on that.
They were just obsessed with
Coney was good on that.
Yeah.
Was that a Swingers reference by Coney?
Always is.
Because he was trading places, and then he said something about him on the Royals farm system.
Going both ways. Yeah.
He did something like that. I think Coney knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
I think that was calculated.
Coney always knows.
You want to get into some awards?
I think we have to babble on.
Ooh.
Babylon. Not Babylon, but Babylon.
Confusing.
Because we've been babbling.
We've been babbling.
That one's on me. And I'll spell it out even to start. Babbel. Babbel. You guys know about Babbel by now, but if you don't, you can be getting yourself a little bit better every day, especially learn a new language or maybe a language that you've kind of forgotten. I had to remind myself the other day, Jake, you learned Spanish for 4 years. You should probably know that a little better. You should be babbling, and you can learn a whole new language in just 3 weeks. Babbel, they've got science-backed language learning app that actually works. They've got 150 language experts that have put in time into this. Give it a shot. Going on vacation somewhere, want to go on vacation somewhere. Learn a language. And we've got a special deal. We mentioned Hideki a couple times today. 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners. Babbel.com/Yanks. 55% off at Babbel.com/Yanks. Spelled BABBEL.com/Yanks. Link in the description.
Yo no fumo.
Babylon. All
right, first award we give out here on Talkin' Yanks is
Pride of the Yankees.
And because it is Sunday night and Jake is heathen, I get to go first. But I am going to do something nice for you, Jake. I'm going to rock chalk here, okay? I'm not going to mess around. Been messing around too much with my prides. I hate how that fucks up the end of the year stats. So I just got to be
accountable.
Honest. I can't get cute, with them. Right. So I don't know if you're going to take this guy, but I'm taking Carlos Rodon. Okay. You start the series off right. That's the question mark game. What are we going to get?
Right.
Are we going to be in a hole? Or is the bullpen going to be in a hole?
Going against Glass now.
Yeah, against Glass. No and no.
Right.
He doesn't hurt the bullpen. We used kind of the B, A-ish tier guys, but they were fine. They needed to get reps in anyway. He goes 6 innings, only 1 earned run. I'm going Carlos Rodon.
I like the pick.
His first of the year.
I like the pick. Yeah. It's been a roller coaster. I know we've been reminding ourselves there's still a lot of season left.
But the Dodgers are on a heater.
Right.
This isn't like beating the Royals and you're like, you just like, okay, I hope this is something. Like this, at least says it's there. It's in him. He's got the stuff in his arm right now. So I don't know what else is happening, but we need to just figure out what just happened and repeat it. That's science.
That's how it works. Like we said, interested to see how the changeup develops. And yeah, I mean, is there a world that we look back at the end of the season and we're like, hey, I'm butter knifing Carlos Rodon stats since the Dodgers game? I would love that. Let's see more of it. Let's get a couple more Pride of the Yankees going.
Yeah. Well, tough to get,
And you know what? Open up the buttons, Pop. I don't care.
Yeah.
We said it. The weather's heating up. He's getting a little sweaty. The buttons are coming. Like, weather's heating up, so are you. Getting, all the way right. It's been fine so far.
Yeah.
That's my pride. Who's yours? You going to give it the same guy you've been giving it to all year?
No. Per usual, I'm between two guys.
Yep.
And actually, probably the guy you think I'm going to give it to isn't one of those two guys. I think Tony kind of cooked the books with those weird hits we talked about. Yeah. So that's his stat line.
Unbelievable.
500 in a series. You're like, okay, probably the Yankees.
He did that?
Well, the homer was nice, but it comes in a losing effort.
My pride of the Yankees is Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Had to.
It's Giancarlo Stanton. It's Sunday Night Baseball. We lose this series, the whole episode changes. The whole tone. Now, obviously, Judgy with the big game in the first one. But like you said, Rodon, Judgy wasn't even the pride of that game, technically. 2-homer game. Tough to be judged sometimes, ain't it? But Giancarlo comes out. He hits the grand slam. He has 6 RBI. That's tied for the team lead with Judge. 2 homers. That's tied for the team lead with Judge. But it's Big G on Sunday Night Baseball. And Jim, they're doing all this storyline. Judge's toe last year versus the Dodgers. We've got all these differences. Yamamoto. Stanton's storyline that have brought us to this Giancarlo Stanton also goes back to the Dodgers, where he was the MVP of the All-Star game. Then he gets hurt, and then he kind of hasn't been the same guy. He's shown us flashes this year. I'm loving the new stance, but we need to start seeing a little more production, and hopefully, like you said with Rodon, maybe art imitates life here. If we can start seeing a little more for him, we can start, this Yankees team has showed us enough offensively that we put last year in our review, but we're still not dreaming big yet. And if Giancarlo starts kicking into gear, then we start dreaming a little bigger.
I thought it kind of twisted my brain up. Like the lead into Sunday Night Baseball, it's all the Dodgers, Yamamoto, and then Judge, Soto, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
First inning, Stanton hits the grand slam.
Right.
And I thought about kind of, like casual fans or even like Katie sitting next to me. She's like, that's the same Stan? I'm like, yeah, that's the guy that was the lead-in to all the Sunday Night Baseballs, the MVP, home run chase in 2017. Like, yeah, yes, that is the same guy. Like, I didn't know he was still, they didn't talk about him at all. Like, what a weird dip we've had. So it was kind of cool.
But the thing with him, I know we're just talking about how we want to see him really get going. And this series was a great Stanton series. But, sneaky, he's had 6 prides this year. He's just timed the homers well. It's been pretty good. A couple real big series, couple well-timed ones.
Just keeps giving.
In hindsight, it feels like we've been forcing it. You've given him 2. Like, don't.
Judgy still has the most, obviously, but.
And here's Stanton had an RBI in every game. Judge didn't. So I can find reasons.
Okay.
While we're on him, what do you think about Stanton in the lineup? Like, where do you want him? Would you scooch him?
If he's gonna keep hitting. Keep hitting.
Get him back up.
Get him there. I'm fine with him.
Okay.
The grand slam in the first.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. So
that's
you want him to move up to cleanup? You want him to
No, I guess it just turns into lefty righties. I'm
fine with him settling into 5.
Him after Rizzo. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Let's
I'm aware that's just what we've seen for years, and we're back to, is that what we want?
Right.
I think maybe the bigger separation between him and Judge helps even more. I don't know. Who knows? Let's get mean. Next award.
You Yankee motherfucker.
I have to go first here, huh?
Thank God.
Rortvet? I don't know. No, I can't. I can't.
After
But I
what
mean, what
almost
what did
happened,
he
no
do
way.
to deserve the Cole yelling? Had to be something. We don't know. But if we were privy to that information,
You know it's nothing. You know it's nothing. It's Cole's like third favorite hobby.
I'll go Glaber. I mean, you said we're not going to talk about the error because we didn't care about it. But it's just like, come on. And he's not awful with the bat this year. I think he's going to get going. Do you think it's just
Compared to last year, it's a little disappointing.
last year he led the team of nothing. This year it's maybe an odd mix for him to be dropped down, from last year when Judge was hurt. He was our only dude. And now, because like I said, the at-bats aren't bad. The results just aren't kind of coming yet, which I sound like Boone. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like him to go maybe change bats. He changed bats at the start of the year to a lighter bat and maybe nix that.
Yeah, I mean, Jim, this is actually pretty wild, and I was going to save this an award. So great MFer, dude.
Thank you.
Gleyber Torres this year, 240, 314. The OPS is 762. Remember that.
Okay.
At this time last year, and this is, the baseball season's going, right? Like it's early, middle of June.
Mm-hmm.
This time last year, when Gleyber was like one of our best hitters, he was 249, 293. So the on-base percentage actually up from last year, and a 762 OPS.
I see why you had me remember it now.
So Gleyber, and actually, it's funny. Actually, after the ninth last year is when he really started to go, and his OPS went into the eights. So maybe it's that time of year, but it's just the company you keep, having Judge healthy and having Soto and Rizzo's back. Like, he's had a similar start to the season.
Home run's kind of infectious. He's got all these big boppers there, and I don't know. I think, his average can be higher. The slugging doesn't need to be in the,
Do you want him to start
force.
jumping pitches more again? Like the pitches per at bat have gone
Dude,
up.
I might actually like to see, even though last year sometimes you're like, didn't love it.
Right.
But when he did it, he was pretty good at just like, no, I'm going to swing right away. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think he's playing how he wants to play. And last year he very much was like, this team stinks. I'm just going to go out and do me.
And
Do you?
this next week coming up, we have 4 in Kansas City, 3 in Boston. Let's
Let's
get right
Torres.
before Baltimore comes to town. They're not a pitching forward team.
Remember when Romine had like 20 RBIs in Kansas City that one year?
Built different.
Go be Austin Romine Gleyber.
Well,
What year was that? 2018?
I think so.
man, Casey into Boston. That feels like a Gleyber Torres player of the week.
Let's get that right before Baltimore, Atlanta. Yeah.
Keep winning series.
Regular awards.
Yeah. Well, we can. Yep, regular awards.
Oh, you got to give yours out.
Almost got away with it.
I think we already.
It sounded like you were doing Gleyber as well.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We're on to the next part of the show. Around New Year's. God, that feels
Illegal.
That feels a while away, doesn't it? God, time starts moving quick. We get obsessed about how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing. Maybe you finally organize one part of your space and you want to tackle another. Are you taking supplements, healthier diet? Whatever it may be, therapy can help you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. And hey, if you're looking into this, BetterHelp is where you should go. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/Yanks and you get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Yanks. There's a link in the description. I'm giving mine to Clark. All right, regular awards.
Oh.
We lost one game. I know it's Ohtani, but you still got, dude. So, I don't know.
I don't know who I'm mad at. I guess the blame goes to him, whatever.
Jeez.
He's done more than his part this year. But, hey, sometimes part of the family is being an MFer.
Oh, my goodness. Should have done more bad.
Stop.
Regular award. I got two that I like.
Okay.
I kind of teased one already, but I'm gonna go with this is a quick one.
Okay.
This is the pit stop.
The pit stop.
The pit stop.
Is it spelled the way I'm thinking?
Ooh, how many ways are in
Like
your
not
head?
as in like a pit, like a normal pit, not like a pit bull situation. No, I guess it's all one team.
I think it's
Never
all
mind.
spelled the same.
I think it's all one team.
PIT.
I was thinking PITT bull, but that's because bull's too out. I digress.
That's crazy.
Is that part of
That
the
was
award?
crazy.
No,
Pit
I don't know
stop.
what happened. But you have to guess.
What's the award?
Pit
The
stop.
Pit stop.
Just pit stop.
Just a pit stop. You are going to
Two.
Alex Verdugo?
No, wrong. Go to Volpe, man.
Okay.
The steal second and then instantly steal third
Yeah.
is a real fun move.
Yeah.
2 stolen bases, and it's like the 3rd or 4th time he's done that this year. Did you say? I don't know, but it's if he likes the catcher and the pitcher, that means he's likes his ability to steal. So why not just do both instantly?
Yeah.
And so if I see him steal second, that's just a pit stop, and he's going to be at third very soon. Is what I've been led to believe will happen.
Right. Yeah, I mean, hey, he's stealing backs. He's, the stolen base total, it's so crazy that last year he only landed at, 24 stolen bases? Because last year, if you remember his first month, like when he came up, I think he stole double-digit bags. That it was like, oh, wow. Let me see what I can get my best butter knife to. In his first 31 games last year, he stole 10 bags. And we were like, wow, new stolen base rules. This guy's on pace for 50, 60 swipes. He finished at 24. I think right now he's on pace for like 35. So you want him running a little more?
No,
Okay.
I'm knowing that if he steals second, he's going to go to third on like the next pitch or the pitch after that.
Right.
It's going to happen. He's not a one bag at a timer.
Right.
He's got to lead the league. I don't know. Maybe ask K Sharp in like back-to-back pitch steals.
Right.
Most guys
Back-to-back
get
pitch
tired.
steals. We can ask Katie.
Yeah. I don't know if
Most guys get tired.
Yeah. They steal one base.
Not
That's
the
a full
fast
sprint.
Guys.
That's a full
not the
sprint.
fast
They
guys.
catch their breath. Wellesley, remember when he stole earlier?
I remember. Pop quiz.
Yeah. Hot shot.
You know who's second on the Yankees in stolen bases?
Verdugo.
Verdugo and Peraza are tied with 4. So Volpe's running. We kind of need everyone else. Or, I don't know, give Peraza a chance to run. But, yeah, it's not what this team does.
Kind of asking Verdugo to like, hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Please
Rizzo.
stop.
Rizzo, go tell them the talk we had to have with you.
Him and Glaber in a caught stealing off.
And that's the only thing they talk about. Anyway,
No,
your
didn't
award.
Glaber posted that. Remember that weird Instagram? It was him and Verdugo. They were both wearing basketball jerseys, but they were just playing video games. What was that?
Watching a
Kind
lot
of a
of
good
watching
angle.
a lot of playing guts, figuring out.
Basically my college experience. Good stuff,
Yeah.
Jim. Good stuff. I'll do my silly one, and then I think I've got a more serious one. I'm giving the video game upgrade award.
Video game upgrade. Okay.
I think you've got this one. Be the first one you'd get all year, which is crazy.
I'm having a rough go.
You're having a rough go. Try. You can lead a horse
Well, you know
to
what?
water.
I was joking around a lot.
You can
I was
lead a horse to water.
I was joking around
You're
a lot.
always joking.
And then it got to be like, get some right, Jim. You know,
Always
a
joking.
lot of tweets, a lot of people pissing me off saying you'll never get one right. All right, so say it again slowly.
You joking?
Say it again, but slowly.
What'd I say, Beeps?
The
Video
game upgrade award is what I have written down.
Well, you didn't give him pride, so Aaron Judge.
Great guess.
But
The shutout continues. No, I told you first one. I'm being a little more silly, but it was just funny in that Sunday night baseball game. You know, Rortvedt catches Cole, and he bullies him. And here we go. The Yankees have a lead. Lefty reliever on the mound for the Dodgers. And Rortvedt's coming up, and it's kind of that point of the game that you're just like, oh, I don't know, the game's kind of going its way. They pinch hit Wells, and for me, it was one of those funny moments, like lefty catcher. And I know you're not the biggest video game guy, but like I've played a lot of video games. So it's like, hey, you got to this level, you can upgrade your towers, or you can upgrade this. Mm-hmm. And it was like the Yankees they pressed the video game upgrade button. It was like Rortvedt to Wells.
You thought we were going to bet this guy?
Yeah.
We have this guy.
Look at this. Also lefty.
Yeah.
Cole doesn't yell at him.
Well, Cole was done, but
They don't even really talk. Rodon claimed Wells. Pretty
It's a
quickly.
little, I think.
Rodon was like, don't let Garrett get his hands on this. He ruins him.
It's a mustache thing. It's a mustache thing.
Yeah.
and they were gravitating.
Well, I was
towards each
shocked
other
that Wellesley showed up the spring without one.
It's a little bit of a détente. Like, Wells really doesn't want to end up where Ben's ended up with Cole. And Cole knows he shouldn't be doing that. Cole's worried if he does that to Wells, that's now his, like, archetype. Like, Garrett Cole just bullies catchers, and he doesn't want that. It's just him and Ben. There's something...
Yeah. Well, Rortvedt likes it.
Like
we joke around a lot, but Rortvedt thinks it's hilarious.
Like a scene in a movie for Cole sometimes when the main character is like freaking out and they're not sure who they are.
Rortvedt is going to have the same stories that Flaherty shares with Randy Johnson about him and Cole. Like it's going to come out that Rortvedt fucking riles him up on purpose because Cole is like, you know,
I'm a man.
Bobby Boucher, water sucks, Gatorade's better. Use it on the field.
Sucks.
You know, like Rortvedt sees a pitch and he's like, good pitch, but I think it was the wrong call.
Yeah.
Because he got shook off. And that just like, what do you fucking you know? You know? And then that Cole uses on the field.
Right.
So that goes to
Who
Wells
gets that? Wells or
It technically goes to Wells.
Nice.
Okay.
You don't-
That's what I
Wells.
was thinking.
Yeah.
I had to double check.
Your last and final award.
Yeah, I have two like different ways to phrase the award, two different award names, I guess, to get the point across.
Right.
And I'm blanking on the first one and stuck on the second one, but I know the first one was better. I didn't write it down. But it was so I'll go with the second one, which is going to piss me off. Permission that if I remember the first one in the middle of the conversation coming up, we can retroactively change it to the better
Permission
name.
to ask.
Hey, Beeps.
I mean, I'm not going to
Permission
pretend
to
you
ask
haven't done
later.
that before.
Permission to ask later?
Yeah.
Okay.
If like I'm rolling and you're like, oh, I think I remember, we might have to wait.
But on the record, that's all
Like
I care
it can,
about.
the official
I gave
award
my
can
answer.
change, but like, yeah, try not to interrupt, Jake.
Okay, so I'll go.
Seems like you're still trying to think.
You're trying to just find that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Big time, yeah.
Captain Phillips Award. And this
Captain
is the second
Phillips.
best version of the award, which is a shame for the people.
So so here's what So the award will be going to the same person no matter what.
Yeah, it's just the
But
name
you're
of it.
forgetting.
The better reference I
Oh,
had
yeah,
as a
full
name.
permission. Full
yeah,
permission.
you can change
Oh.
the name of it.
We thought
Yeah.
you were just
I
going
thought you had a
to do a
different guy
totally
you
second
No,
award.
it's
like you
the
were
same.
just having a full
No, and
brain
it's the
fart.
same reason. It's just a better reference than Captain Phillips for what I'm trying to talk about.
Captain Phillips, the popular movie over a decade now, 2013. Tom Hanks. I'm the Captain Now, very famous. Captain. Okay. Aaron Judge.
No. And that, I don't even want people to take it in the way that you
Right.
are now going to have them take it.
Jesus, this award's been horrible.
That's why the name of it's bad. It touches on something that you referenced at the top of the show. Juan Soto, the strike zone, Doug Eddings.
Right.
I thought it was like pretty well known when you have a guy like Juan Soto, who's a career plate discipline guy.
Right.
And you hear stories about this.
Yeah.
Where umpires in the past would just kind of defer to the batter who knows the fucking zone that well. So for Juan Soto to have like two disagreements in one at bat that you talked about, it's like, hey, Doug, he's the captain of the strike zone right now. He's an honest, good kid. He'll tell you if it's a ball or strike, just like wait it out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but and they talk about baseball, basically he would get the call. Who's the one? Is it Tony Gwynn? Or who is the one that they usually reference about if he
Bonds?
Yeah, well, he wasn't getting much favors.
Didn't need much.
We're trying to help him out.
But anyway,
Okay.
I had a better reference for it. It was more like it was a Western movie that I was referencing.
Okay.
Like
I'm sure it'll come around.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
For now, Juan
Juan
Soto gets the Captain Phillips
is the ump. And like umpires
Right.
should just realize that.
Right. Country Joe West, maybe. I'm glad you brought up Juan Soto. It's funny, 3 hits, 3 runs. He only had the 1 walk. We talked about that 1 at bat. There's also that ball that Outman tracked down. That's at the warning track. That's out in a couple different ballparks.
But every at bat,
yeah,
you shift in your chair once.
right. I mean,
because he gets there so deep. He sees so many pitches. The Soto shuffle. It's awesome. Like every at bat, I'm like, oh.
right.
Even if it doesn't end good, there's a moment of like, this is a fun time.
And
Everything feels competitive.
I don't want to be this guy, but it's who I am. Like, enjoy every at bat. Because again, we don't have the extension.
You didn't hear Cashman's quotes last week?
That cat. You took them in a good way. I took them in a bad way.
He's coming back.
I took them in a good way. You
Quote,
took them in a
unquote.
bad way. That Cashman. I didn't think you got to reread that quote because that's not what he said, quote unquote.
I hope he's coming back.
Right. That hope.
I just shortened it for the people.
That hope. That hope word.
The hope
Hope's a
is
dangerous thing, as they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Princess Leia.
It's the hope that kills you.
Soto's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna. I
If
think
he wanted to be an umpire, he could get hired right away.
easily.
So that's what I'm trying to
Easily.
say.
It's gonna be some fun combos coming up for us when the guy that you're not talking about starts to get to a level of where we might have to talk about him joining this whole mix. Because I don't love Soto's defense.
But Grisham not playing at all is weird,
Yeah.
and Verdugo's holding his own, having some fun, and doesn't, so I don't know. They're
don't
still
know.
just hoping on a Stanton injury to open up a lane for Martian and put Soto and Judge, rotate.
We think we're
Right field
about
and
a month
DH.
away, and we've seen it. The team's depth be tested very quickly.
That's what it would be. It would be
Over the course
Soto
of a
and Judge
month.
rotating right field, Martian playing center, Verdugo on left, and it stands on the IL.
And you can ease in the Martian. You could. There's
And
a
you get
lot
him
of ways to
days.
skin that cat.
Ew.
They're assuming somebody's getting hurt
Why are you
between
skinning
now and then.
cats?
You say tail first.
Boone keeps saying that on the show, and
He says tail first.
Yeah, that was glad everyone liked that. It was pretty tough to ask Aaron Boone how he would skin a cat. But per usual, he had a good answer. So
We will continue to ask one dumb question an episode as long as he keeps answering them.
as long as we keep winning series,
Yankees keep letting us have more fun this year.
win series,
Bar soap or body wash next up?
you get a silly question. That's not really silly. It's kind of straight up.
He would have a reaction like, what?
Think so?
You just mix it in? You ask about a bullpen decision?
Probably body. He's soap.
I hope so.
You come from.
Another
I've been
generation.
I've been hollowing my soap out and squeezing the body wash into it. It's kind of like a gusher
Getting
situation.
everything.
Like leaking.
Another good series.
Trademark.
So we're gonna ask
Yeah.
him. we're gonna ask him a silly question. Comment below what it should
See if he wants to help patent that
Trademark
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If you're one of our engineer listeners, reach out.
be. Please.
We're
You
rich.
poke a little tiny hole with like a paper clip, so it's a real slow leak.
Right.
It's nice.
Just one hole.
Yeah.
Good
Take your
award.
final award.
No, but thank you.
Good award.
That could have been better.
This is tough because I was going to give out the Captain Phillips award.
Lie.
No. Yeah, that is a lie.
That's a lie.
That is a lie.
That was a lie.
One of those
For the
lies.
first time listeners, that was a lie. Yeah, for the Dodgers fans tuning in, Jake just lied.
I'm gonna give out the Rebellious Player Award.
Oh, rebellious player. Who's this going to go to? Rortvet? Jake.
Get his name out your mouth.
Rebellious player. I mean, I think we talked about Glaber too much already. Efros
Ooh, Scooter.
pitches in 2 of the games. Guess what happened those 2 games, Jake? They won. That's rebellion.
Is that rebellion? I don't know if that's the definition of rebellion.
Revelry.
Jim, a rebellious player.
Yeah.
You know, they're turning against the coach. I guess in a way this award's for us, but it doesn't go. In a way it goes to us, but I guess it kind of goes to Aaron Judge, because if you're a rebellious player, you're ignoring the captain, and we kind of ignored the captain. Like this whole series was built around the captain. He could have won Pride of the Yankees. You know, whoever had the second pick could have taken Aaron Judge for Pride of the Yankees.
It was you.
Aaron Judge, he had 6 RBI this series. He was tied for the most RBI, tied for the most hits, 429 on base. How about the stolen base? We barely talked about that. Always good to see the big fella on his horse. He had 2 home runs. In that last game, he barely got mentioned. He had 2 hits. He's the captain. Sometimes we're spoiled with it, and we ignore it, and we're hoping to get Big G going a little more. We're hoping to get Rodon a little more.
Yeah, I think it's just recency bias. He did it in game. All of his best shit came in game 1.
Well, and he's coming off a series where he had 4 homers, so it almost overshadows what just happened.
And the homers off Glasnow, he made it look easy, even though Glasnow fucking dominated this year.
Right.
So I'm not. We didn't rebel too much. You know what a good captain does? Shines a light on others.
Right.
Like Judge is excited and ecstatic that we took the spotlight off him for a second. And
so Judge is giving us the award.
So
basically.
Judge basically gave us the
Good Guys Award.
Good Guys Award. Can you change that in the ledger?
Give it as Judge gave us an award.
Judge gave us the Good Guys Award.
Just right at the end, Judge gave us the Good Guys Award.
Yeah, instead of the Rebellion Award.
Shout out to my good friend Samantha, his wife.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tasky.
No.
But shout out Tasky as well.
Shout out Sam.
Yeah.
Sam.
Who we got coming up, Beebs?
It's
the
Royals and Red
and the Red
Sox road
Sox.
trip.
And on the bump, we're going to see Nestor. Hopefully he can continue.
I like the Royals
And-
matchup for him.
Well, I like Stroman against the Royals too. I think he's been looking better and better, sharper and sharper. I'd like to see him go really deep into a game. I like everyone to let's get our. It's June now.
Right, he's got that 1 7-inning game. If we could get another one of those.
Feels like he's been just 6 every time, which
3
great,
against the
but
Royals.
4 against the Royals.
So what is 6 times 4?
24.
Yeah.
All right, I want 26 innings from the starters against the Royals. 2 guys go.
So
2 guys
Cole's
go
gonna
6.
dodge 'em.
2 guys go 7, or 1 guy goes 8, and 1 guy can go 5. Then is that 2? The Royals
It's
look
a
awful.
big ass.
The Royals look
The
awful.
Royals look bad. Royals look bad. But
Okay, what did I just say? 24 then. Average of 6 innings pitched.
I would like that.
That's
an
fair.
attainable
That's fair.
goal.
All right, let's mark it down. Tweet at me to make sure.
Tweet at
We
Jimmy,
remember.
make sure that's right. And
Thursday night. Remind us where that set ended up.
some final housekeeping. We talked about DJ a little bit. He doesn't have the biggest series. You covered Volpe. Verdugo, another porch job. Again, his stat line, it's not flashy, but it's, again,
From where we were last
I'm
year.
worried about the homers. 10 homers on the year is a lot for him, and it's great. It's great, but the average is
all at home.
Yeah.
All at home. How about that? Kansas City, let's get our first road homer.
Well, I'd like more sprayed around. This is a guy who can pepper the field.
Right, but he's a pull power guy.
Yeah.
So if let's get a road homer and then just hit it wherever you want.
You'll get to go
On
like
pace
home,
Oh, he's going to go back to Boston.
Boston.
He can just pepper it all around there. Yeah.
pull. Yeah.
And Cole lines up for Boston then. That's good.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that.
Let's deal with that. And then I mean, hey,
and it's Verdugo's return to Boston.
Nice.
Yankees haven't been there yet this year.
Clay Holmes.
How weird is that?
Could have gotten an award. He's been boring and good, but like good.
Well, this week he only got into the blowout. Like it's
Good.
fine. It's good.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you very much. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. Leave a review. And if your name is
Danny.
Dale. Whoa. We were close. I only wanted like 3 guys, but you said Danny?
Yeah.
Danny, all the Dannys and Dales.
Okay.
You have to leave a comment.
Dale's too. Have to comment
Yeah.
or leave a 5-star review or something.
Go
Or
Yanks.
something.
Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.